Ready. Play.
Quick refresh on my top 10. Number 10, Andre Rublev. Number 9, Tommy Paul. Number 8, Francis Tiafoe. Number 7, Ben Shelton. Number 6, Taylor Fritz. Number 5, Daniel Medvedev. Number 4, Alexander Zverev. Number 3, Novak Djokovic. Number 2, Jannik Sinner. And number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. Do let me know your thoughts on my power rankings. Get in those comments below. And tell me whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you...
Number 11, Marta Kostyuk. Number 10, Paula Badosa. Number 9, Barbora Krejcikova. Number 8, Jasmine Paolini. Number 7, Elena Rybakina. Number 6, Danielle Collins. Number 5, Zheng Qinwen. Number 4, Coco Gauff. Number 3, Jessica Pegula. Number 2, Iga Świątek. And number 1, for the first time in my power rankings history, Aryna Sabalenka.
Here we are for this very special encounter at the Bonn Open between Jeffrey Blancano against Damir the Demon Jumur. He's very much demonized thus far, showing a bit of frustration after losing the first set. Anyway, the Frenchman to serve 15-30. Bit of pressure on that Frenchman's shoulders, like a couple of baguettes weighing over him. Needs to take some time. No hurry, he says, at 15-30. He's up a set, 2-all here. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go there down the middle, and that is a shank. One that even Stefanos Tsitsipas would be proud of. Get that towel, mop your brow, return to the baseline where you'll know it's 30-all. Screeches from the other courts. But they don't put this young Frenchman off. Look at him, prowling, brushing, questioning. Maybe they do put him off. He needs to be focused. It's 30-all, 2-all, tens times here at the Bonn Open. Goes out wide with that, comes into the net, does the volley. Does he put it away? No, he doesn't. But he puts that one away, and his opponent, the demon, Damir Jumur, just cannot believe what has happened to him. I'll tell you what's happened. You've been flummoxed, and you've lost the point. We would take another look at it if we had a replay, but we don't. But who knows? You don't even need a replay. It's in our heads. Okay. The Frenchman to serve. I say you're going out wide. You don't. You go down the tee. Clip the net, though. So he's going to get another shot at it. Is he going to take my advice and go out wide on this one? Did so successfully on that last time for a serve and volley, even though he'd messed up the volley. Goes down the tee again, does come into the net, does a little drop shot, and you know what? Jumur is like, I can't even be bothered to run that down. And he's going to clean that line. Look at this, he's cleaning the line because he's so annoyed with some funny bounces.
Ready. Play.
Quick refresh on my top 10. Number 10, Andre Rublev. Number 9, Tommy Paul. Number 8, Francis Tiafoe. Number 7, Ben Shelton. Number 6, Taylor Fritz. Number 5, Daniel Medvedev. Number 4, Alexander Zverev. Number 3, Novak Djokovic. Number 2, Jannik Sinner. And number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. Do let me know your thoughts on my power rankings. Get in those comments below. And tell me whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Number 11, Marta Kostyuk. Number 10, Paula Badosa. Number 9, Barbora Krejcikova. Number 8, Jasmine Paolini. Number 7, Elena Rybakina. Number 6, Danielle Collins. Number 5, Zhang Qinwen. Number 4, Coco Gauff. Number 3, Jessica Pegula. Number 2, Iga Swiatek. And number 1, for the first time in my power rankings history, Aryna Sabalenka.
Ready? Play.
Hello and welcome back to another Talking Tennis stream on day 4 of the US Open. Today I'll be covering Jannik Sinner versus Alex Michelsen in the second round. It's a second time meeting between these two. Met for the first time in Cincinnati with Sinner getting a pretty close actually straight sets victory, but straight sets it was. This is Michelsen's second US Open. And he's coming into the match on good form, having reached the final in Winston-Salem. So it's an intriguing one. Obviously, Jannik Sinner's had a lot of talk around him for many reasons. He won the Cincinnati title, then had the anti-doping charges announced back in March. He played his first round match, which I also covered. I believe the last 3 sets of the first set and the start of the second set. He was all over the place and really looked to be affected. And then as the match went on, he started to find his feet and kind of look like the player that's been the best in the world this year. So it'd be interesting to see if he can make a better start today, but I don't think he'll have it all his own way with Michelsen obviously being an American, a young, talented American who will try and throw him off his guard. And just on first match today on Arthur Ashe, I think for me, I can't see Sinner losing. I can't see Sinner losing at all, but I think it'd be in 4. I think Michelsen could take a set, possibly the first, if Sinner starts like the way he does in the last match. I mean, Sinner wasn't serving well at all in that match, and I'll be hoping to change that. But it's Michelsen serving first, and it's a bad start for the American, a double fault. So yeah, not ideal at all, but early stages. I mean, there's bound to be some nerves. I don't know if he's played an Arthur Ashe before. I know this is his second appearance at the US Open, so it'll be interesting to put that pressure against one of the best players. But it's a lovely down the line backhand there from Jannik Sinner. It makes a fantastic start. Just curious. Yeah, I don't know if had a bit of a connection difficulty there, but yeah, Sinner's made a great start down the line backhand at the 30, but Michelsen does get on the board there with Sinner hitting a backhand into the net, 15-30. Obviously, there have been some matches getting underway previously. He started at 4 o'clock in the UK, 11 a.m. in New York. Some interesting scores. I mean, I know that both Sebastian Korda against Mahatch was a breakup and lost the set, and Hurkacz was a breakup on Jordan Thompson and lost the set. So players maybe not holding their leads, but it's Sinner who's got 2 break points in this first game. Ghost asking what happens if you blew a player at a Grand Slam. Is that against the rules? I mean, I think it's very slam dependent. I think Wimbledon you'd be a lot more frowned upon than the US Open. Yeah, I'm intrigued to know who you're talking about. It's one of those break points, but Sinner's got the second chance. Big size there. Oh, it was just out, I believe. Steps up to the line again. That was a let. I don't know if they've both been lets, but so it's hard to tell when you haven't got the sound on your stream. But yeah, that was definitely a let. Pressure on this point in the first service game of Michelsen's. Oh, and he goes long on the forehand, and Sinner gets an early break. I mean, a much better start for Sinner, but he's still got to consolidate that with his own service games, which were the big problem in the first set of the last match. But against another American in Mackenzie McDonald. So yeah, just looking around the ground, you've got Arnaldi as setting a breakup on Safulin. Then you've got Christopher O'Connor as a set up on Bellucci. Mahatch, we previously mentioned, is a set of breakup on Sebastian Korda, so that's interesting from an American standpoint. Jordan Thompson is a setup on Hurkacz, and also I've got 3 break points. In the women's draw, you've got Anna Kalinskaya, who is the partner of Jannik Sinner. She's a setup on Anna Bondar. What a breakup, but is now back on serve in the second set. Person Say, who's had a good year, is set a break on Wang Jinyu, and a very, very informed Diana Schneider is setting a breakup on Clara Towson. That's a good point there from Alex Michelsen on Sinner's serve, getting the forehand past an approaching Sinner to the net. Goes to Smith Brewer sponsor. I mean, yeah, again, which sponsor are you talking about? It's very, very dependent. Or a wild forehand there from Sinner. So, yeah, not a great start to Sinner's service game either. Go saying that the match is probably in quarter. I've heard the quality of that match is high. Well, at least was in the first set. And that, I think there might have been a medical timeout as well, so I don't know if Corder is struggling physically. Yeah, Ghost just wanted to do every player and sponsor, or not every, but a lot of them. Second service Sinner. It is in, but it's a great return from Michelsen. The point continues. Michelsen approached the net, and that's a good volley there from the American to get 3 breakback points himself. So yeah, not being too phased by that early break, it doesn't seem. No, Michelsen's younger, 22. So quick look. Oh no, I could have got a bit. Yeah, it's actually 20, so still very young, Alex Michelsen, and recently turned 20 as well. I think he's already been in 3 ATP finals. I think he's been in the Newport final twice, and also most recently the Winston-Salem final where he lost to Lorenzo Sonego. So to save one of his break points, but still chances for Michelsen to get that break back. So nice serve there, ace from Jannik Sinner. 30-40. Ghost wants to get Boo Boo Zayla's nice. I like it. I'm still intrigued. I like that. I know it says a long list, but I'm intrigued who'd be top of that list, or who would be in and around the top of that list at least. So, I believe long from Sinner. So then, deep return from Michelsen. Now going backhand to backhand cross court. Down the line. And Sinner goes long. So Michelsen did not take long to get that break back, and we're back on serve at 1-1. Yeah, the concerning times for both Sebastian Cornet and Hubert Hurkacz, both been a breakup in the first set, and now down a set, down and a breakdown in the second. Sebastian Cornet is actually a double breakdown against Thomas Mahatch. Mahatch is very talented, but Cornet will have high hopes in this one. I believe I had him going quite deep. Anyone who's currently watching, is there any map they're looking forward to in particular today? I mean, I think for me, it's got to be Osaka Mukova. It's a late one tonight, but I'll do my best to try and stay up for it. Kenan Pagula is interesting as well.
Can you hear me okay, Matt?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I think my internet is too dodgy.
I can currently hear you. So,
yeah, my internet I think is a bit dodgy. That's just 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I was just talking about Kenan Pagula. Kenan also coming off the back of that good performance against Anurag Kanu, and Jess Pagula, I would say, is one of the favourites after reaching the Cincinnati final and winning the title in Toronto. Ghost, yeah, I think Diana Schneider is a dark horse. I mean, been one of the best players over the last couple of months. Got so many wins, and I think it's got a pretty good draw. I think fourth round really should be the favourite to get to the fourth round in her section, and is only 2 games away from beating Clara Towson. Don't want to be playing Diana Schneider at the moment. Back to the Sinner Michelsen match. It's 30-15 on Michelsen's serve, and that's back into the net from Sinner. So 40-15 Michelsen seems to have steadied himself a little, and looking to get the first hold of this match. That's a good first serve in there. It's wide from Sinner. So, yeah, first hold goes to Michelsen, and we're at 2-1 to the American. Speaking of Jannik Sinner, Anna Kalinskaya is about to serve for the match against Anna Bondar. And she's had a very consistent year. I saw a thing about the women who've won matches at least one match every slam this year, and it's quite an exclusive list, but she was on it. And then there's also a list of players, women who have lost in the first round of every slam this year, which is also intriguing.
I want to know, first of all, I just heard the latter part of that, Matt. So there was someone who has won a match at every slam this year. Who were you referring to?
Well, I was just talking about how Anna Kalinskaya is about to serve for the match, and I was saying that I saw a list with a select group of players who'd won a match at every slam this year, and she was on it. And then I also saw, like, to the side of that, a list of players who've lost in the first round of every slam.
Yeah, that was the bit I heard.
Yeah, I mean,
has Sakari won a match at a slam this year?
Yes, she did all right. Well, she reached third round at Wimbledon, I think, but I think other than that, it's been.
Was there anyone standing out on that first round list?
Yeah, I mean, the first round win, the one that stuck out to me was Arantxa Rus, which I didn't realise that she'd won a match at every slam this year. And
that's a nice little stat.
I mean, I don't know if it's surprising, but Veronika Kudermetova hasn't won a match at a slam this year.
Oh, that is Kudermetova. Okay, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I actually might see if I can find it, because it was.
Yeah. I think it probably.
Go on, sorry.
It probably says a bit. I think it says a bit more about it if you haven't won one, like such as an established player. I think Kudermetova won a 500. Did she last year, beating Swiatek en route in Tokyo? Maybe
it was Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's someone who you sort of look at in the draw, depending on the surface. I think grass and hard court are pretty good for her. So in those surfaces, I often would be thinking about her making a decent run. So that does stand out. And I think not going deep or not winning a match, as a top-ranked player, such as Kudermetova, maybe says a bit more, no disrespect to Rus, but you can get a nice draw a couple of times, and you might look at Rus and expect her to win. So I don't know who Rus was beating in those 3 or 4 slams as it now is. So I'd have to see, if she was beating top 30 players at each of those, then fine. But but still, it's a nice stat for her for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Easy works, Ghosty says, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rus was on that list, but Sabalenka wasn't, having missed Wimbledon. I mean, it's kind of a technicality, but it's just interesting.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so Sabalenka wasn't on the list because, Wimbledon. Yeah, so you can ignore that. Yeah.
But obviously, you'd expect her to have won regardless of who her first round opponent was.
Yeah. I mean, if Sabalenka was on the list of not having won one, then that stands out. I'm going to try and switch back to the Wi-Fi and see how that works. Just a second. What have I? Oh, hello. I just wondered what I've been missing so far today. Let me just have a quick look at some of the scores around the grads. Let me know, by the way, everyone, if you can still hear me all right. Have a look at some of the scores. Okay, so Putin Saver is up a set on Wang, and Kalinskaya did indeed get over the line. Towson is on the verge of going out, I see. And obviously Coco Gauff and Svitolina, I think that was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. What else? What about on the men's side? Because I'm just dipping in now to see what's going on. So we've got Sinner and Michelsen underway. Michelsen obviously breaking back after being a breakdown. Sebi Korda is in a bit of trouble. Is this the Grand Slam where we go, this is Mahac doing what Mahac does? But Korda going 2 sets to love down may please some people who I know in the live chat are not their biggest fan, but may disappoint others. I don't know whether you were big on Korda before this tournament, Matt.
I think I had him going pretty deep. I mean, he's had decent form. He won Washington, right? And let me just have a look at my bracket, see how deep I had him going, and just. But I know he was obviously a breakup in that first set, and it seems like it's gone downhill since then.
Yeah.
I had
him to 5G. The Wi-Fi here is not great.
I had him in my 4th round, so yeah. It's a bit of a poor result for the American, especially at his home major.
Yeah, let's see how we get on. So just tell me about this match between Sinner and Michelsen, Matt. I missed the first sort of 3 or 4 games, but I believe there was a break of serve for both players. I think Michelsen double faulted on his first point. I remember hearing you say that. Yeah,
he did. And I think he did look a bit nervous in that first game, but he reacted really well in Sinner's service game. And I was talking about how Sinner, his serve in the first set of the match against McDonald was really off. So I was intrigued to know if it would be off today. It does seem a bit better. I mean, he's hit at least 1 ace that I've seen, and it's back on serve now with 3-2 Michelsen, but Sinner's about to try and get back on level terms. He has just lost that first point, so maybe Michelsen's going to be pressuring. I think Michelsen's best bet is to win this first set.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't help. Who was it in the previous round? McDonald, was it?
The Kenty McDonald, yeah.
In the end, of course, he was up a set and a break. Michelsen is quite a jumpy character, and I mean that in a nice way. You know, he's kind of a bit nervy in general as a person, as a player. So I'd be very intrigued to see, you know, if Michelsen is in a position, which I'm sure he will be at various points in his career, when he's trying to serve out to win a big title or to try and serve out a big match, especially on someone like Ash. Who knows? We might get to see it today. Of course, he's very much the underdog, but I just mean he's sort of there's a real honesty about him. You know, what you see is what you get. He will make mistakes like he did in Winston-Salem when he waxed the ball, but he immediately realizes it. He's not someone who'll maybe double down on a mistake, if you like some people will. He'll front up about it and go, he'll make lots of mistakes. He's a very emotional person. Probably emotion is probably the word I'm looking for more than anything else. And it's part of the endearing side to him as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he's only just come out of his teenage years, so he's still obviously got a lot of learning to do. And I think he's been in 3 ATP finals.
He's lost them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Snake one I think was that a bit more one-sided, but I think there was one in Newport that was quite close. I don't remember watching it, but I remember seeing the scoreline. But the talent is obviously there. It's just about, learning and to deal with these situations. I'm assuming this is probably his first time on Arthur Ashe, and these things they take time to get used to.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. You just sort of hope that he gets over the line quite quickly in terms of that title, because the
Yeah.
more losses, the more, that'll get worse. If that sort of becomes 4, 5, or 6 final losses, then that'll get particularly tricky.
Yeah, just saw one of the chats saying that Quarter's serve speeds are way down due to an arm injury. He's now 2 sets
Oh,
down.
okay.
And it's love 30 in his first service game in the third set, so
I see that. Yeah.
probably wouldn't be too
Yeah.
surprised to see retirement if that's the case.
Yeah, Corda and injuries has been a thing. I mean, it was wrist, I think, last year. And it seems to take him a little while to sort of gather momentum. And then when he starts to gather momentum, something goes wrong for him.
Yes, enough having to improvise there, kind of hitting the shot across the net, but it was a legal shot, and he smiles after to go up 40-30.
I'm going to switch to a different match. Let's see what else is exciting and what's worth tuning in for.
Goes saying that Paulini Pliskova was about to kick off.
Okay.
I think I'd be surprised if Paulini didn't win, but you never really know with Pliskova these days.
No, that's true. Good win for Pavlini in the previous round, of course, coming through against Andreescu.
Yeah. I think that's the most impressive of the 3 that they've played this year, being on the hard courts.
Is that 3 Grand Slam matches they've played this year?
Yeah, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and now US Open. Yeah, it was pretty high quality from the stuff I saw in the third set. We're now at 3-all.
Wimbledon. What can you remember what the score was roughly? Was it straight sets as well for Paolini at Wimbledon?
Good question. I'll have a look.
I get I don't know why, but I think both previous ones were straight sets, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I feel like the Roland Garros one was rain affected, and I think one of the sets was quite heavy, but I can't remember exactly.
Andreescu on clay, I wouldn't fancy her chances as much as the other 2 surfaces against Paolini. Paolini's pretty good across all 3. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily have put Paolini down as a grass court player until this year, but
yeah, I mean, she hadn't won a tour match until this year, so just shows the leaps and bounds she's come on. But yeah, in Roland Garros, it was 3 sets, but in the 2 sets that Paolini won, she lost 1 game. So that's quite a topsy-turvy match.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I've got Corda now on my screen.
Wimbledon was straight sets.
Okay. Corda's saving a break point, and I can see this sleeve that he's wearing. And from what I understand from the live chat, that's an addition he's made during the match rather than pre-match.
Yeah, I saw on the scores that he was a medical timeout. And in this match, that is brutal for Michelsen. That's like, you couldn't get much closer, but the ball does go out, and he now faces 3 break points. The second serve on that, the break point. The 40. And yeah, Michelsen goes long, so it's a break to love for Jannik Sinner.
Yeah. So Michelsen's going to have to do it. Going to have to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's completely out of the question, but it's a hard break. That's what I think you could really see then that ball being so close out played in his mind a little.
Okay. Again, he wears his heart on his sleeve. I'm probably coming up with better expressions than I was before, saying he's a bit jumpy. But yeah, he just wears his heart on his sleeve, and yeah, what you see is what you get. And that's an endearing characteristic, but perhaps in tennis, we need to sort of hide some of those emotions a little bit from our opponent, especially.
That's a good point. I think sometimes characteristics that are good as a human being aren't necessarily always good as a professional tennis player and athlete. So it's hard to kind of
Agreed.
to mix them. But yeah, I did find that list with the players who've won 4-0.
Okay.
Won all their first round matches. So you've got Badosa, Goff, Kalinskaya, Kazakina, Kostyuk, Mertens, Navarro, Paulini. They're kind of all sort of been very consistent. Pavlyuchenkova,
Yeah.
Rancherus was the one that surprised me.
Pavlyuchenkova's won a match. Pavlyuchenkova's not been out in the first round yet this year.
Yeah, that did surprise me because you kind of always associate her with could be amazing, could be off as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So Rancherus, I mentioned, was kind of a surprise. Then you've got Rybakina, Svitolina, Swiatek, and then the last one on the list is Yafan Wang. Again, somewhat surprising to me. Then you've got 6 names on the no wins out of 4 Grand Slams. Got Jacqueline Christian, and now Habino, Veronika Kudermetova, who I mentioned earlier. Another one that surprises me is Magda Linette.
Linette hasn't won a match at a Grand Slam this year.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if she's had rough draws, but that did surprise me. Then you've got Schmiedlova and Yu Yuan.
Okay. Yeah, but Linette obviously making the semi-finals in Australia of 2023. Yeah, that's rough. And I'm presuming that she's played every slam. I don't.
Yeah, they were all players that played all 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Linette also stands out. I think you're right to highlight Kudermetova even more so, because that Linette run to the semi-finals was a little out of the blue, if you like, and was sort of draw dependent to some extent, and she took advantage of every thing that she could, and hats off to her for doing so. When Sabalenka played her in the semis in Australia, I do remember thinking, okay, Saba, you've not made a Grand Slam final yet. She was on one of those runs that we sort of see with Pegula and Rublev regarding quarterfinals, albeit for her was semifinals at that point. I think she'd lost, I don't know if it's 4, 5, or 6. But that was the day that was like, okay, this is the day you're going to have to get over the line, Arena. And she did.
Yeah, I think she lost that. Big questions.
Yes, it is. Sorry. Yes, it would have been.
And Michelsen perhaps responded again. It's love 30. That's 15-30 now. That's a backhand long from the American, but still chances for him to get that break back. And they have frozen, but I'll keep you up to speed with things.
I think I'm back.
Yes, you are. You are. So yeah, Corder is off the break, and it's a nice volley there from Jannik Sinner. I believe that's him. Michelsen looks a bit puzzled, but yeah, it's him.
I'm not watching. As I said, I've switched over to Corder, but it's just funny when you said he looked a bit puzzled because, again, it's the heart on the sleeve thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good attempt at a passing shot, but Sinner dealt with it really well. Yeah, he's definitely a character.
I was watching him at a challenger very up close about 5 months ago in Portugal. And they're wearing heart on the sleeve. I mean, he was so annoyed playing a Denis Novak, it was from Austria, and he was, he said out loud to his box or his team, you don't really have boxes at challenges; they're just sort of sitting on chairs at the side of the court. And he said, "I can't believe it. Why is Denis Novak playing like Novak Djokovic?" It was even funny. It was like I'm supposed to be playing Denis Novak, not Novak Djokovic, something like that. He said.
It's the stuff you're not supposed to really say, but it's kind of nice when players do sort of vocalize what they're actually thinking. It's like Holger Rune on social media. It's just very authentic.
Yeah. Who was it on social media? I don't know. It might have been Holger, but somebody misspelt the word lose, which is a common mistake for non-natives to make, actually. No big deal. They write it Loose, And it might have been Holger, it might have been someone else, but whoever it was, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool because it probably hasn't been through a production company of some sort or PR.
Yeah. I feel like I've just Sinner Yeah, I was just going to say that I think a lot of British people also misspell the lose and loose situation, so I don't think it's necessarily.
Yeah, maybe I'm being. I mean,
I know it's a perfectly valid excuse for a non-native English person, but I see it a lot of the time in English. But just to
maybe
say,
you're right. Yeah, natives maybe we should.
Just so Sinner has hit a smash into the net, and it's a second break point for Michelsen.
Ooh.
Backhand to backhand cross court, and Sinner goes into the net, so that is level again for all.
Nice.
Actually,
I'm not anti-Sinner at all. I'm just pro tennis.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always get to see the top players get tested. It's boring to watch the ones where it's comfortable, as much as that's what you expect.
I think, if I understand correctly, that next up on Ash is Iga. Just answering Nerlan in the chat.
Yeah, actually talking about some of the
Sebi
tournaments
Sebi Corder's up 3-love, but he's getting a lot more attention. And it is the wrist, it looks like, or it could be the elbow, some part of the lower arm anyway, or a bit of both, actually. Upper arm now is getting attention too, and he is wincing quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think just from what I've heard, I've been watching, but I was surprised to say that he'd got that break. And I thought he'd sort of fade away.
Yeah.
And perhaps he would have retired had it not been the US Open.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, back in his match,
but it is
4 or 5 sets. Sorry.
Very reminiscent of when he lost to Hatchanov, I think it was, in Australia. 2023. Yeah. That was when he was in the best form of his career, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just hope it's not too serious. Actually, talking about the Nottingham and Birmingham tournaments, how he likes going to them. I've also been to both of them, and yeah, they're pretty good events.
Birmingham and what was it? Oh, Nottingham. Okay, I haven't been to.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, I know Birmingham was being demoted to to the challenger scene.
Yeah, to the lower level. It's a pity. I'm just sharing on the screen right now a couple of videos that I've uploaded. So do check them out when you get a chance, including an interview I just did with Daniel Masur, who's had a career high of 149. He's won his challenger match today against the Portuguese Enrico Rocha. So do check that out as and when you get a chance. Mahatch here serving at love 3. Michelsen looks like he's doing all right on his serve. He was 30-love, although I see now it's 30-15.
Yeah, it's actually at 30-all now. He was.
Okay.
He did a nice serve volley, but it's that forehand long there. It's got things back level, but still well in this. It's a good first serve. Oh, yeah, it was a good first serve, I think. It's hard to tell sometimes when maybe it was a let. Yeah, I think it was a let.
Yeah, with the lets, I tend to look. It doesn't always work out like this because some like to, depending on how the match is going and how sweaty they are, they like to just take one ball at a time. I remember seeing Rafa, I think it was in that final in Australia against Medvedev. At one point, he started taking one ball at a time, and I was thinking, okay, is that to sort of just slow things down? But I think he said it was just because his shorts were too wet that putting a ball in the pocket was just.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but generally, what I tend to look for in terms of when I've got the sound down is obviously they like to have one ball in the pocket and one. If it is a let, they'll often obviously take another ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good. I have noticed that before, but in that case, I think Michelsen was expressing his sort of. I think he was surprised it was a let, so I was a bit confused for a second.
Okay, gotcha.
He came to the net there to try and take the game, but the volley goes into the net and it's back at juice.
Ashley here asking about Mallorca. I presume, Ashley, you're referring to the Challenger right now. And yeah, that is the Rafa Nadal Open. 125 maybe, Challenger? 125 or 175. I'm hearing some cheers, so that might well be that Jaime Faria has held, yeah. I'm at the Porto 2, as it's called. Both Faria and Rocha here, both unfortunately didn't make it to the main draw in New York, going out. I think both went out quite early, maybe the first round of qualifying.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about one of them, and I think they'd struggled in qualifying.
Yeah.
So they've got Nuno Borges currently. I think he's still in the draw.
Yeah, pretty sure he's might well be playing today, actually. And I think
Yeah.
you've got a break point, right?
Yeah, he's playing, yes, it's Breakpoint Sinner, and he's playing Borges, he's playing Kokonakis later. That's a good backhand there from Michelsen, and Sinner can't get it back, so it's back at juice. He saves that breakpoint. I think I saw that, just going back to the Portugal thing, I think Borges is approaching becoming the highest ranked Portuguese player in the ATP history.
Oh, so Pedro João Sousa, right, would be 28 maybe, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think it's about that. I think Borges is in the low 30s, so it's getting close.
Got it. Yeah.
He won the title in Borstad recently. Beating Rafa Nadal at the final, and it's now a break point again for Jannik Sinner. Michelsen not quite getting the volley over the net.
Just in a beautiful drop shot from Sebi Korda. I am seeing Sebi doing some different things on the forehand, including that forehand drop shot, and including a sort of more defensive forehand than I would have expected. So I do think it is an ongoing issue. This, and he's shaking he's up at break 40-15, but he's shaking his head. And he's held for 40-15.
To give another break point to Sinner.
Is Zverev the best server amongst the top 10 players? Probably Nurlan, yes. First serve especially. But I would even say there's been some improvements all round. What was it he said in a press conference in Hamburg? Something about, I think it was about his second serve. Or no, it was about getting his first serve in. I think his first serve in percentages are either in the top 50 players. He's either first or second in terms of getting his first serve in. And he said that was something that he certainly worked on over the last couple of years.
Yeah, someone who's not thanking their serve right now is Michelsen, who double faulted to give the break to Sinner, who are now at serve for the first set. Yeah, just on that question, I suppose the only other one that I can think of is maybe Hurkacz. He's obviously got a big serve.
Oh, yeah. Yep, Hurkacz. I mean, I would include Novak in the conversation. Albeit
but he's been struggling with his serve so far.
Yeah, he just said it was either on court or somewhere I saw his quote was about, I'm not happy with his serve yesterday.
Yeah,
Kushida pushed him to 5 sets last year.
Yeah, I think in both of his first 2 matches, his serve has been 47% first serve in, which is quite low. But also, it's quite scary that he's won both in straight sets with that percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see his match last night, but the first round, I saw bits of it. And I think he can get away with it, let's say, against... who was it he played in the first round?
Radu Albot.
Radu Albot, yeah. Yesterday, of course, that's a bit different. Les Leger, I think, a fit and firing Les Leger. Novak also said an interesting thing about that is that Leslo likes to play, or he doesn't like to play Leslo in a way in terms of the game style. But of course, unfortunately, he was not able to finish the match.
Yeah, I think a more tricky one now in the third round against Alexei Popyrin. He's got a lot of confidence
definitely.
at the moment.
I mean, that could have been a 5-setter in Australia this year. I think Popyrin had set points maybe for a 2-1 lead, I'm going to say, something like that.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
It might have been on the Novak serve, I'm not sure, but it was 4 sets and it was close. And of course, Popyrin arguably is playing even better right now, having won in Canada recently.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would do to caveat that is that I did look and they did play at Wimbledon, and it was straight sets to Djokovic, but
Okay.
grass is a completely different kind of fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not predicting a Popyrin win, but things get a little bit interesting now for Novak, that's for sure. From the third round on, his first two matches were always like to be quite comfortable.
Yeah, just a first double fault there for Sinner, but we're at 15-all. Sides for this first set. Michelsen's got 5, which has been a lot of them been quite big moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, back out into the net there from Sinner, so we are at 15-30. It's interesting, really, because obviously every time that Sinner has broke, Michelsen has broken back, and
Immediately, yeah.
So, and he has to break back now, or else it's that over.
Indeed. Yes, even Sinner's serve as well doesn't seem to be being as effective as it was, say, at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it was all over the place in the early stages of that match with Mackenzie McDonald. Yeah, it looked horrendous, but he found his way as the match went on. He went from really struggling to hardly losing a point towards the end. But he has produced a decent serve there to get 40-30 the set point.
Korda was just double faulted at 30-15. He's still a break up, but even more significantly, it was just the manner, the very sort of, it was almost like he did his first serve in slow motion, and that landed wide, and then he double faults, and there's something. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm seeing him get the medical attention, and then I'm watching the way he's serving in particular, as well as hitting the forehand, and neither are quite right.
Yeah, and the thing is, obviously, he's 2 sets down. It seems almost unbelievable to think that he could go 5 sets now. Just since Sinner has taken that first set, 6-4.
Yeah, first set importance. You emphasised it. I think it's often the case as the underdog, but particularly as Michelsen did manage to break Jannik twice in that set.
Yeah, I think he was kind of there for the taking. Sinner. He wasn't bad, but he definitely wasn't anywhere near the. I mean, his second serve percentage was down at 25%. Michelsen's was down at 18%. So
Korda. What's going to happen? No, okay, he's going to take his seat. Just to say that Korda's been broken, but it was quite a bizarre one because Korda was very much up in the point and had a difficult but manageable put-away volley on the backhand side. But unfortunately for him, he fell. So he falls down and the ball bounces and lands in, and therefore he's lost the point and therefore the game. He's approaching the net for what's going to be a tricky backhand volley, but he would have made the volley. Whether he would have won the point, I don't know. But he falls basically as he's about to just prepare himself for that backhand volley. Almost certainly nothing to do with the injury that he's carrying, just bad luck. But he just can't believe his misfortune basically as he falls to the ground.
So like everything's going against him.
Yeah. He then was shaking his head and he started to walk towards what could have been his chair or the umpire's chair. And I was waiting to see if, having been broken back and in that manner, whether he was then going to shake the umpire's hand. But he didn't. And we go on. Mahatch now serving at 3-4. Just having a look at some of the scores. Schneider has knocked out Towson. I say that as though Towson was the favourite. Far from it. Schneider, of course, the seeded player, and also having a good run recently in Canada. Kalinskaya is through in straight sets. I think that was a while ago actually now. And Putin Saver is in a bit of a dogfight in the second set, although she did win the first.
Yeah, I believe she was a breakup.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, her catch was in trouble last I saw.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. He's 2 sets to love down.
Yeah. Oh, now it looks like he's going to take the winning of Aronis Makulin. I mean, it's kind of a surprise is that Christopher O'Connell looks like he might be going to the third round, but he does currently face a break point in the third set against Bellucci.
Yeah.
I think it's big now for Michelsen to get this hold in the first game of the second set. 15-all. Also, from a British perspective, Katie Bolter has just started against Busas Monero.
Okay.
They're on serve 3-2. So it's not a bad draw, I would say.
Nurlan, becoming a Novak Djokovic fan, it seems. Yes, Novak does sort of do everything better than everyone else. So certainly he has the best thing possibly. I mean, it's a lot of unbelievable things that Djokovic does, but maybe it's the fact that his base level in every department except for the smash is just still very, 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 very good. And, probably the base level, in fact, almost certainly your base level is more important than your ceiling. Yeah,
it's just having that sort of thing to fall back on. And a lot of the time you see some players, I mean, one that springs to mind is Sophia Kenin. Can be fantastic, like she was at points the other night, but also can be woeful, to be blunt about it. Like, it can be really bad sometimes.
Shapovalov.
Yeah.
Zverev, maybe Felix. In fact, the problem with Felix is I don't find Felix as exciting as I used to either. I mean, it's the often when we see a player, we've got a break point here for Sebi Corner. Often when we see a player dynamic, such as Chapo and those other players I mentioned, when they go through a bad spell, it's because the dynamism is still there, but they're just wayward, and they're hitting balls out and they're hitting the net and they're just, because the confidence goes on the big shots. But with Felix, I don't even find him as exciting as I used to.
Yeah, I was quite surprised he lost in the first round here. I know Mentik's a talented player, but I think Felix has been doing a bit better recently. But yeah, it's poor showing. Currently precarious position on Michelsen's first service game in the second set, 30-all.
Mahatch just saved a set point. A break point.
Drop shot, I consider that's a lovely drop shot, and it's break point to the world number one.
Going to have another break point for Sebi Corder, which was nicely set up after the good return. It's people might be saying, well, what's going on with Corder? Because, he's struggling a bit. I think it's partly because in tennis, you can have an issue, but you can sort of play around it. unlike most sports anyway, you're injured, you're coming off, right? In football in particular, you're no good to anyone. Whereas in tennis, you can sort of find ways to work around it. You can play more aggressively in certain moments or on certain shots, or you can play less aggressively. As Korda is having to sort of just manage around the issue, and it's probably because Korda ultimately is a better player than Mahatch, despite the scoreboard obviously suggesting otherwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had that lead in the first set, the break league, and lead in sometimes it's
did he?
downhill.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think I was kind of keeping an eye on it, and both him and Hurkacz were a breakup in that first set, and both lost that first set and have since gone 2 sets down. So it's been a rough one, but also a rough one for Michelsen, who's been broken in the first game of this second set. I mean, much like he was in the first, where he did break straight back, but he's up against it.
Yeah. I wonder how Hurkacz is physically. Of course, he's, coming back off a pretty bad injury that we maybe didn't even expect to see him play again this year. And yet suddenly, there he pops up in Canada and off we go again.
Yeah, there were reports that he wouldn't even be able to play again this year, but he's obviously defied that, and he's done okay, really, in his comeback. Kind of.
Did he withdraw? Did he retire though in a match in Cincinnati, maybe? Although I don't think it was the same injury. I think it might have just been sickness or something in Cincy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Bellucci's serving for the third set, albeit he's down a break point, 30-40.
I was just saying earlier about some of the matches I was looking forward to, and the standout one for me today is probably Osaka Mukova.
I thought you might say that. Yeah, Osaka Mukova. Damien is going to do a watch along from midnight UK time for Mukova Osaka, and I think at the same time is Medvedev against Maroshan. Is Osaka on Ash? I hope so.
I would, yeah, you'd like to think so.
I mean, a Grand Slam finalist and also semi-finalist last year in New York in Mukova. Yeah, and it is on Ash. Yeah.
I just hope Osaka plays the same level.
Yeah, if she can keep that level up. I mean, it's a kind of a win-win for me, that match, in terms of the fact that I've got a real soft spot for Mukova.
Yeah.
I desperately hope one day she gets the Grand Slam that I think her talent deserves. And on the other side, it's great to see Osaka back playing well, and I've got Osaka in my semi-finals in my bracket. So, yeah. What I don't want is the winner of that to then go out very quickly or limply in the third round. What I want is whoever wins that match, I want them to go deep, as in semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't know who they would play next, but
it's Osaka that I have more faith in, to be honest with you, right now. If she wins, then I think she's probably getting to the quarters or maybe beyond. If Mukova wins, it's still one that you're thinking every match is a 50-50, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't know what exactly Mukova's draw is, but whoever she's playing, I don't quite have the same level of confidence.
Yeah, I just haven't looked at the draw now because I know that Osaka's draw is not the nicest, but it creates some good matches.
Nicest, but I think it gets better for her after the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, so it does, because I think it could have been Fernandez, but it's actually either Lepchenko or Potapova. So really a winnable match after this.
Yeah, although Potapova I think will be tricky, but
yeah.
I you say that about Layla, but I almost feel as though Potapova is possibly even trickier than Layla.
I think I just went off history and put Fernandez, I think maybe in my semi-finals, which was definitely a choice.
Yeah. I like the way you word that.
I think I just always think there's something Fernandez. It's just I always predict the wrong tournament, and when I don't pick her to do well, it goes wrong.
There's certain players or certain times in our predictions when we kind of go big on someone and they don't do well, and then you go big on them again because you've got a lot of faith in them, and so on and so forth. Barbora Krejcikova was one for me. For about 6 months I kept thinking, yep, this is going to be it. I thought 2023 was going to be her year. I know she's obviously won a French, and then basically 2024 I just sort of gave up. And then what happens? Well, we know what happened at Wimbledon. So looking, and then the fourth round, I mean, it isn't an easy. I'm not here saying that Osaka's got the easiest run ever from now on or after Mukova. So, but you're not seeded, and you're therefore going to play a top 16 player in the fourth round. If that top 16 player is Jasmine Paolini, for example, or Putintseva, then it's not ego and it's not Arena, and that's kind of all you can really hope for in that last 16 if you're not seeded. And so maybe even Rebecca, if she's fit and healthy, you probably want to avoid her too. So if Osaka was in that fourth round, it means she's playing pretty well. And I've obviously backed her to beat I'm guessing Jasmine Paolini. I don't remember, but I've got Osaka in my semis, so she's beating someone in that fourth round, and I'm thinking I had Paolini in the fourth round.
It seems a safe bet. It's a chance now for Sinner to get a double break on Michelsen. It's been quite a good game. There's lots of lengthy rallies. I mean, Michelsen likes to come to the net a lot, so it creates some fun points. He tries to come to the net with a slice, but he slices into the net, and it's a double break for Jannik Sinner in the second set.
Yeah, similar story for Sinner in a way. Not quite as perilous as the first round, but Sinner obviously got broken in the first set twice, but his opponent just wasn't able to move on. And obviously the other night, I think he probably lost his serve 3 or 4 times, didn't he, in the first sort of set and a bit. And then there was that game that you were commenting on, where McDonald just was in a lengthy service game and loads of juices, and I think there was a double fault or 2 in there from Mackenzie McDonald, and then ended up losing his serve, and that was the end of the match almost. Yeah,
I mean, that match turned on its head so quickly. So I was looking in big trouble, and then I think it was the fourth set. I think he went about 16 points in a row from the end of the third set to the fourth set. It was crazy.
Golden set conversation was there,
Yeah, he was halfway there, and
I wonder if he knew. He might not have done. He might have done. I think if you break to love, you probably, if you do it back to back, as he may well have done. In fact, if you said he was on 16 points, so he was 4-love up, was he, with a golden?
No, I think what I'm saying is he won.
He got to 3-love.
The third set, to love, and then carry that on into the fourth.
Yeah.
He definitely won at least the first 12, possibly more.
Got it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So he won 16 points in a row, but it was 4 points at the end of the third, and then beginning the golden set. But he may have been aware. By the way, Matt Hatch has broken Sebi Corda and is serving for the match.
It does kind of feel like it's inevitable with what you've been saying.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the Corda returns, he's hitting some decent ones, but he's sort of feels like he's using the pace of Mahatch's serve rather than swinging at the returns. Do you know what I mean? So again, and that's exactly how the first point panned out, and Mahatch wins it 15-love.
Oh, now he's also also serving for the match, so it'll be interesting to see who can get there first.
Yep. Quarters won the second point, so that's a 15-all. I'm just going to leave you for a few minutes because there's an interesting moment with Faria's match. So I'll be back 5-10 minutes, I guess.
Cool. See you in a bit. So we're here with Sinner now serving at 3-0 with a double break. And obviously, after winning the first set, is at 30-15. It's a good serve there from Sinner. He's serving a lot better today. Throughout the match, he did get broken twice in that first set, but generally, I think it's been a lot better as we hit the hour mark in this contest. It's a really nice serve. Does get back his. Oh. It felt like it was on the plate there for someone to smash it away, but he hits a wild one long of the baseline. Just as his compatriot Matteo Arnaldi gets the win over Roman Safulin straight sets. And the match that John was watching is also just finished as Thomas Mahatch beats Sebastian Korda, who was hampered with an injury to his arm, I believe, and also a bit of wrist. That's long there for Michelsen to just take the game. So 4-love in this second set. So they're quite comfortable. In the women's draw, you've currently got a tie-break between Putintseva and Wang Jinyu. Putintseva won the first set and is now looking to be points away from the match, but she won't have it all her own way. And from the British perspective, Katie Bolter's coming against Brizas Monero, 4-3 up. But currently at juice, and Brizas Monero's serving Dorheide and Irania at 2-all in the early stages of that. So they're making a strong start to this game as well, number 15. The backhand down the line into the net from Alex Michelsen, who really looks starting to look a bit dejected, which is, understandable given the scoreline. Had such a close first set and has really not kept up the pace in this second. We did say that we felt like the first set was quite important for him to win. Obviously, when he didn't, it seems to have had a bit of an impact. Second serve goes in, down the line from Sinner, down the line again from Sinner, volleys it, and yes, it's now another 40 on the Michelsen serve. Is really not enjoying this second set. Michelsen does win that point, and we're at 15-4, so he saves one of those 3 break points. A fist bump, kind of. It seems a little sarcastic as such from Michelsen, but I hope he's helped in some way, whatever way works for you. So Michelsen goes in, nice big forehand, and so there goes for the passing shot. It does go wide, so 2 break points saved from the American. Will he be able to save the final one against Alex? First serve into the net. Second serve in. Time from Sinner, 400 under the into the net from Michelsen, and he looks frustrated with himself as Sinner goes 5-love up in this second set. And we're about to step up after the change of end to serve for 2-love lead. And Yulia Putintseva did win that tiebreak, and the match consequently against Wang Jingyu, continuing her quite impressive 2024 season. Her catch fighting to stay in the match at the moment. It's 2-love down against Jordan Thompson, 4 in the third, and 30 on her catches serve. So potentially another seed about to go, but I don't think it'd be the biggest of shock. Shock for Jordan Thompson was always a challenge, and he's had a decent results recently. And her catch is still kind of recovering from that injury that he obtained at Wimbledon. So he steps up to the line to serve for the second set. Should be a bagel if he was to do so. Cross-court rally here. So goes for forehand approach to the net as he's done so many times, and the volley is long. Feels like these volleys are not coming off anymore for Alex Michelsen. Interesting to see what his net point ratio was. Just have a quick look. I think he's quite maybe stubborn as such, but he's enjoying coming to that. It works for him. He's won 5 out of 16 points at the net. Michelsen, which feels like quite a dip. And in this second set, it's been 1 out of 7. It's a low percentage. But he did win that point on a forehand winner and 15-all. But there from Sinner does get returned. Michelsen wins that point with Sinner hitting a volley into the net. Still about Michelsen missing some volleys, but that was one for Sinner. I'm disappointed with that. Good first third there from Sinner. And returned, and we're at 31. He's 2 points away from taking second. Fantastic serve from Sinner. Yeah, sorry, now on the scoreboard screen is in John's hands, and he's gone off a bit, so we'll have to wait for him to come back. But it's currently 40-30, 5-love 40-30, so it's a set point for Jannik Sinner. I'll try and keep you as updated as possible with the score. I don't have the power to do that at the moment. And out from Michelsen, and Sinner takes the second set very comfortably, so 6-4, 6-love, 2 sets to love up. is Jannik Sinner and 1 set away from reaching the 3rd round. A tough set there for Michelsen. As they sit down for the set break, I'm not sure if Michelsen's going to go off the court or not, but we'll take you through the ground. So far, they've had Arnaldi beating Safiullin in straight sets, Mahatch beating Corder in straight sets, and currently Christopher O'Connell's 2 sets to 1 up on Tia Bellucci, and Jordan Thompson's 2 sets to 1 up on Hubert Hurkacz, but Hurkacz is 2 points away from taking the 3rd. So 30-all on Jordan Thompson's serve. In the women's draw, we've got Katie Bolter 5-4 up on serve and 15-30 on Puzas Moneris. So it could be approaching the first set there for Bolter, but in Dollarhide it's currently a break-up in the first set on Irani. Yes, and I believe Nalan Iga is on after Jannik Sinner. And if he keeps at this pace, it might not be too far in the future. Iga Swiatek taking on Ina Shibahara. Ina Shibahara, obviously, focusing more on singles this year and found great success in the first main draw round match in the other day against Daria Saville. Katie Bolter currently has a set point against Puzas Bonero. 4-5, 30-40. Players returning to the court with Michelsen about to serve. First again, this has been broken in the first game of both the first and second set, so if you're hoping to change that, to win a single game in that second, to break the win-up games. I believe he's actually lost the last maybe 8 games in quite a run. And down the lineup from Michelsen into the net, so 15-all. I think he just needs to try not to panic and get that first serve percentage up. Maybe also change the way he's playing, maybe he trusts his net play, but it's not been that effective against him today. That is a good first serve, but it's unreturned into the net there from Sinner, and Michelsen moves 30-15 up. I noticed that Katie Bolter had a set point against Puzas Bonero, but Puzas Bonero held. And it's at 5-all. That's a nice volley there from Alex Michelsen, who moves 40-15 up in this first service game. Of the third set. There you go now, and the scoreboard is back up for you to see. Second serve from Michelsen is in, and the backhand is into the net. So he hasn't quite sealed that just yet. first serve. Bounces his back off the top of the net, and he's got the second serve now. So from Sinner, cross court, forehand. So it goes to the centre, and Michelsen backhand into the net. So we go for 40-15. Michelsen served juice, and sure there'll be some nerves now for Michelsen. He's been broken in both of the first service games in both first and second set. Also hasn't won a game in 8, so yeah, tough scenes. It's still not over at all. Nice backhand there, and yes, hits it wide. So another game point for Alex Michelsen. But Hurkacz looks to be struggling now at love 40 on his own serve at 5-all in the third set. Already lost both the first 2 sets, so potentially moving towards an exit from the US Open. And Alex Michelsen does win the game. He needed that, the American. Bit of a confidence booster that will be for him in his first game since the first set, and one of that in his third. So already better signs for a 20-year-old. Hi Dave, thanks for joining us again. In the early parts of this third set between Jannik Sinner and Alex Michelsen. I believe John will be joining us at some point. He's just gone to watch James Farrier at the Porto Challenger. Nice return there from Michelsen, but still going on backhand to backhand cross court. Nice backhand there from Michelsen, just finding the line. And he's looking a lot better so far in this third set. To be honest, I haven't been watching Hubert Hurkacz, but I could just have a quick look. I need to see if he is wearing a brace. And it would make sense given his recent injury struggles. And he's also one game away from being knocked out to one. Thompson about to serve in the third set. It does seem as though Hurkacz just got that knee brace on. And he might be about to exit the US Open in the second round, so that'd be a top 10 seed potentially losing. Yeah, I'd be surprised if it was 100% just yet, given that, I mean, there were reports, I don't know how accurate the reports were, there were reports that he wouldn't even return for this season, but he kind of surprised everybody coming back in Canada, and it seems to be the year of the miracle knee surgeries. Backhand to let there, Alex Michelsen at 40-15 to Sinner into holding his own and get back one apiece in this third set, but still not there just yet. So from Sinner, nice 1-2 combo. I come right into the corner at 1 apiece in this third set. Sinner leading by 2 sets to love. Women's draw, Katie Bolter's now gone from having a set point against Bouzas Monaro to facing potentially losing this first set. 30-love down, 6-5. Monaro is potentially closing in on that first set. Did that find the line from Michelsen? Yeah, it did. I mean, it must have just clipped the line. Nice down the line forehand. Not been much in that at all. And Jessica Bouzas Monaro does take the first against Katie Bolter. Disappointment for the Brit there, who had a set point. Bouzas Monaro having a run to third round at Wimbledon and perhaps only 1 set away from the third round of the US Open. Spaniard. Michelsen's making nice work of this service game, much more comfortable in the third set. Really struggled in that second, but he's out 40-love and it's looking to go back-to-back service holes, possibly for the first time in this match. And that's out, nice love hold there from Alex Michelsen, who's really looks to be reinvigorated in this third set. Jordan Thompson, Hubert Hurkacz match. Jordan Thompson now has a match point to beat the top 10 seed in straight sets. Hi Ashley, welcome back to the stream. Just saying how Alex Michelsen has made already a much better start to this third set than in the second. With both of his service games, and it's 2-1. Just quickly see if I can catch this match point with Jordan Thompson at Hubert Hurkacz. Big with the Australian against the 7th seed. We'll see if Hurkacz has own struggles with injury recently. First serve is out. And backhand into the net from Hurkacz, and Jordan Thompson takes the win, beating the 7th seed in straight sets. It's been a tough couple of months for Hubert Hurkacz, but an impressive view for Jordan Thompson, who is always a threat against these bigger higher ranked players. As I switch back to Jannik Sinner and Alex Michelsen, Sinner winning the first point on his own serve, down 1-2 in this third set, but it's 2 sets to love up. I mean, in terms of Hurkacz, maybe an upset in terms of the ranking, but I think given current fitness situation and form, I don't think it'll be too much of a surprise. Yeah, Dave, agree with that, but it's not a big surprise. I think it's a difficult second round match, and Catch just needs to find a way to build back up. Hello, Ashley. Welcome back. That's an easy love hold for Jannik Sinner. Getting things back at 2-2, so both just had back-to-back love holds, and so it's in the balance. Yeah, it has been a good few results recently for Thompson beat Bear, I believe, in Cincinnati. Draper in Canada. So yeah, he's definitely not someone to be looked past. I'm not sure who he'll play now in the third round because obviously the draw will have opened up a little. Top 10 seed exiting. I think that's probably the most open section of the men's draw. I think Dimonor could possibly be a seed in that section. Yeah, so Jordan Thompson will now play Matteo Arnaldi, the young Italian, so a big opportunity for both of those. And obviously Michelsen's been doing better in his set in terms of his serve, but it's still 30 down, so big pressure on the American to keep himself in this set and consequently the match. Second serve here. With that awkward backhand, Michelsen and another one beaten. Sinner finds it and swats it away. 3 break points for Jannik Sinner to really push towards the finish line. The screen just showing that Jasmine Paolini getting in the way against former number 1 and finalist in US Open, Karolina Pliskova. Potentially an intriguing match there. Oh yes, John, our producer, is just saying that match is actually over because Pliskova retired in the first set. I'd be interested to know what's happened there. Pliskova has just saved one of the break points, but still 2 to go. Yeah, Pliskova retiring in the first game. And Sinner does get the break to 3-2 up in this third and potentially final set. Anyone knows what's happened with Karolina Pliskova, then do let me know. I'm just going to do some research myself. It seems bizarre that it's tied so early. Maybe Pliskova's going to the retired after 3 points. Did Karolina Pliskova? Right, so Karolina Pliskova tweaked her ankle apparently in the third point of the match. And was forced to retire, gifting Jasmine Paolini the bye to the the third round, so short outing for Jasmine Paolini today. And can anyone see any way back for Alex Michelsen now? Obviously, 2 sets to love down, also a breakdown now in this third set. Or is it just Sinner gonna inevitably cruise to the finish line? Also then from Sinner, and it's into the net. Good start to the service game for Jannik, who has definitely been a lot more consistent in this match than he was against McDonald. Again, not the strongest start, but not as much of a different level compared to usual. Another nice serve there from Sinner, and he's really just motoring through this service game, pushing towards that finish line. Also there into the net from Sinner. Seconds in, and the rally commences. Backhand down the line from Sinner. Down the centre now. Forehand. Michelsen can't get it back. It's 40 love for Jannik Sinner. So they're considering it a hold to love, 4-2 up, as he's only 2 games away now from winning this match. Dave asking about who do I think will have a better career between Sebastian Korda and Felix Auger-Aliassime. Both been like the United ones, but it's hard to see whether they're going to be able to up the level from now. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Felix Auger-Aliassime was always seen as the next big thing when he had that breakthrough at Wimbledon. And he's had flashes. I mean, he was really good at the Davis Cup that time, representing Canada when they went on to win. But yeah, I think I'd probably go Felix. I mean, he's probably more reliable in terms of injuries. Korda, again, today had some struggles. So yeah, I think I'd probably go with Felix or Auger-Aliassime, but I don't think, in terms of their peak level, I don't think there's much between them. And Sara Irani taking the first against Caroline Dolehide was definitely a breakdown at one point. Big pressure on Michelsen now. He's left 15 down and got a second serve here. Has to hold him, give himself a chance in this match. Already a breakdown in this third set, and it's now love 30 with Michelsen unable to handle pressure for those big forehands from Jannik Sinner. The match between Thanasi Kokkinakis and Nuno Boyes is just got underway also. And Ashton Kruger is currently a break on Mira Andreeva, so interesting one there. Katie Bolter looks to be really struggling now against Business Monero, facing 3 break points after losing the first set. And also facing 3 break points is Alex Michelsen hitting a backhand into the net. And potentially could be a double breakdown in a moment. Yeah, I mean, Sebastian Korda is definitely talented, Dave, but I think I just can't see him keeping up with the rest of the pack, particularly as a big American pack coming in. Will he be able to stick with them? Ben Shelton's looking really good at this tournament. Tiafoe is starting to find his feet again. Fritz, he's always fairly reliable. Obviously Tommy Paul also. So not quite taking the break just yet. And who knows, Alex Michelsen could potentially be the next American to crack into the senior positions. He's had a tough outing today, but he's against the best player in the world at the moment. It's understandable. He does save another break point there, though. Can he save a third? First save into the net. He's definitely lowered his double faults. They're a big problem for him in the first set. And he gets a nice serve in that. Or Sinner gets the, brilliant from Jannik Sinner down the line forehand. And Michelsen can't get to it. And he does take that double break. And now 5 to open this third set and serving for the match. After this change of ends. A very comfortable performance from Jannik Sinner today. Yeah, Dave, not particularly a fan of Alex Michelsen. John is, our producer John is a Michelsen fan. He likes his sort of emotional quality on court. But yeah, I think he's obviously a work in progress. Only just turned 20, but yeah, I think top 30 is about right from what I've seen so far. So about to step up for serve for the match against Alex Michelsen on Arthur Ashe Stadium. Starting to build a rally there, but Michelsen sprayed it backhand wide, and I think it has been this backhand that's been more of a liability for Michelsen today. Quite a few into the net and not finding the court. Big serve there from Sinner, and yeah, it's into the net. That was more about the power of and accuracy of Sinner's serve rather than Michelsen's return. Yeah, I mean, Dave, that's what we were talking about earlier, how Djokovic is just so good at the base level of everything, and even when he's not at his best, he can fall back on that, and that's what makes him the best player in the world. Well, not the best player in the world this year, but for the last so many years, and still be able to compete with the best at 37 years old. Double fault from Sinner there, so not just over the line just yet. That first serve into net, it's got another second serve here. That one does go in. Backhand cross court from Sinner, returned Michelsen, forehand from Sinner. So a lengthy rally this one. Slice there from Sinner backhand, slice returning the backhand, slice from Michelsen, down the line. So that ball had really good whip on it, and Just nothing to do about that. Find the corner of the court and beautiful shot. And Sinner has 2 match points for a straight sets victory over Alex Michelsen. When he comes into the net and puts it away, that's probably the way to finish the match for Jannik Sinner. 3 straight sets, 6-4, 6-love, 6-2. A tough outing there from Alex Michelsen, but he can learn a lot from playing on such a big court at his home Grand Slam against the world of one. It's a good learning experience for him. And Jannik Sinner safely through to the 3rd round.
Well, I missed the last set and a bit, but it went by pretty quickly, Matt, right?
Yeah, I mean, that second set was particularly quick, but the third, Michelsen did start to regroup a bit, but Sinner just had too much in the end.
Where and why did it all unravel then for Michelsen?
I mean, in fairness to me, he actually seemed to lower the double faults as the match went on, but the backhand errors were really quite high, and also he was quite big on coming to the net. I think that's his game style, but it wasn't always working. I think with Sinner's accuracy on the passing shots, it was causing quite a few problems for him.
Yeah, well. So it was a little bit like the other day. Maybe there was a bit more hope for Mackenzie than there was for Alex, but fingers crossed he can bounce back pretty quick. Big thanks, by the way, Matt, for seeing us through that match. And it went by pretty quickly in the end, but we'll catch up again soon.
Yes, definitely. Cheers, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Take care, everyone. Make sure you hit the like button, all that other jazz. You're going to get reminded of it now, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.